bush sticks on the table saws. Is that saw stop? I don't know what is it, Mark? You think about 10 years ago when that thing came out?
It's every bit of 10, maybe even longer than that. I know, yeah, it's been at least 10. Because 10 years ago I started teaching and they were already around that.
Okay. So say I just know when I was in high school there wasn't such a thing. So we had all kinds of people losing. I hate to say it that way, it makes it sound bad, but it's the truth. Just not being careful, not using proper techniques, and sometimes being under the influence of substances while they were using. That happens a lot, but definitely in some cases. Misuse, but also using damaged tools here. This ball peen hammer, we got a cracked handle on it, so somebody goes to swing that head comes flying off and goes flying to somebody with that exact sound effect, right? Wrenches, when the jaws get sprung on, impact tools, when the head's like on this chisel here, the head's mushroomed out, so somebody's striking it, it's sending shrapnel off of it. Mentioned the screwdriver. What about duct taped handles? The infamous duct taped handle, because we've all seen those. It's a pretty good indicator that it's a damaged tool if it's got duct tape on the handle.
No, so just putting camo on it to look cool, like camo duct tape.
That could be, maybe, possibly. I wouldn't put it past somebody, but I would say in general, in most cases, if it's got tape on it, it's because they're covering up something. And so that's going to have two issues. Now you're using a damaged tool, but also you are preventing the person from being able to properly inspect it. So that's where you're going to get yourself in trouble. But like I said, we definitely see it out there for sure. Using proper PPE, keeping floor surface we're working free from debris, slips, trips, and fall. I doesn't have a word, but that's what I think about. That goes a long way. There's a lot of injuries just completely preventable from slips, trips, and falls.
Like my girlfriend fell and she chipped her knee bone, and so she has surgery next month just because of a little tiny chip that she has on her knee cap.
Ouch. What'd she trip on?
I think she just fell, like woozy,
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's that simple. You can just trip over something minor and cause a pretty significant injury. Keeping tools sharp. If it's not sharp, we're putting more pressure on it. We're having to potentially exert ourselves more. Making sure guards are in place. Hazards are definitely going to be dependent on what type of tool we're using. If we're using an electric tool, we got that damage to the cord. We also got a shock hazard if you don't have proper grounding. Whereas the pneumatic, we got that potential if that cord doesn't have a proper fastener on it, that thing can bullwhip off of it. You'd be surprised by how much damage one of those air hoses can cause if it comes flying off there. Because you got to think about how much pressure, air pressure is on that thing. And of course, with the liquid fuel, we saw the video at the end last week. Really, the proper protocols for refueling our gas-powered equipment or tools, but also proper transportation of fuel for it is, to me, just equally as dangerous. Then we got our hydraulics and our powder actuated. Those powder actuated tools are very, very dangerous piece of equipment that I can describe really. Do you all have any powder actuated tools?
I think we do have a ramp. And I know I've got one at the house.
I think you might have one out there too.
You'll notice it.
So essentially,
It's a 22 power.
Yeah. it's just got like,
22 shells.
yeah, 22 shells, what powers it, powers it faster. I mean, to me, it's probably one of the more dangerous tools that we can use.
Is that what they, shoot in the 2x4 to get into the ground?
Are you talking about like into concrete?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so typically it's used to anchor into concrete, but you know, if it's misused, there's a lot of potential there. So OSHA also says we should equip our tools, or our tools should be equipped rather with constant pressure switches, so that it shuts off power upon release. You can't just keep that thing energized. It's gonna keep running. On and off switches on things like routers and planers. Disconnect tools are not used before servicing and cleaning. Goes to that lockout, tag out. Keep people not involved with the work away from the work, because things can happen. Secure work with clamps or vise, freeing both hands. Don't hold the switch while carrying it. Keep tools sharp and clean. Don't wear loose fitting clothing or over. That's a big one. Remove damaged electric tools and tag the new ones. And there he is, carrying by the cord. Don't use the electric cord to hoist or lower it. Don't yank it. We already talked about that. Electrical cord. There's that double insulated again, and the round prong. So that's a big deal. You gotta make sure that they're properly protected. Operating things within their design limits. Now they're saying use gloves and safety shoes. You want to make sure gloves are proper fitting. That's critical for using tools, because the last thing you want is a loose glove potentially get you pulled in. Store in a dry place. Don't use wet locations. Keep area lit. Like I said, some of this is crossover from the electrical, but for using abrasive wheels, equip with guards that cover the spindle. Maintain proper alignment. Don't exceed the string. Guards so that minimal amount of the wheel is exposed. So they want no more than 1/8 of an inch between that work stop and the wheel, so you can't get stuff pulled in there.
Now, I haven't seen anything, maybe I'm, just the way, unplugging it whenever you're servicing it.
Yeah, they talked about disconnecting when you're servicing. That's why I was saying lockout, tag out, strip. You want to make sure. In fact, that's how I got shocked, because I wasn't working on a tool, I was actually working on a plan. I was trying to rewire it, and I thought it was unplugged, and it wasn't.
Well,
So
if
pull
you
that
have a
wire, it was, yeah.
If you have a capacitor on something,